exclusive, student leader says Winchester's future is now in doubt.
£7,500 a year.
Winchester firefighters tell of New Zealand devastation. Mums march in battle to save children's centres. And in sport, Havant and Waterlooville continue their winning streak. Good afternoon and welcome to Winchester News Online. I'm Katie Rolls. In a Winol exclusive earlier today, outgoing student president Aaron Porter set out his fears for the future of newer universities like Winchester in the light of the proposed tuition fee increase. He told Winol he thinks applicants for more modern universities will fall. Colin Bogue spoke to Aaron Porter via Skype this morning.
Aaron Porter voices his worries about the damage that the proposed tuition fee increases might cause to universities like Winchester.
Students will start to look at their graduate prospects from a particular university to make an informed choice about where to go to. Will the application still come to a university like Winchester if the fee is £7,500 or £8,000 a year? And the truth is, no one can be absolutely certain. It's not really a gamble for Oxford and Cambridge because for many years, I'm sure they would have been able to charge a much higher fee if they were allowed, and demand would have been maintained. Lots of the post-92 sector might find themselves deciding to set a higher fee than you might imagine, but significantly reduce the numbers of students going to those universities.
The university has always maintained that its reserves are strong enough to withstand the impact of a possible fall in student numbers. Colin Bogue for Winchester News Online.
140 jobs may be lost in Winchester as plans have been announced to move Benedict's of Mayfair abroad. Although the chocolate factory has operated in Britain since 1931, the owners of the company have said that the chocolates, which have gained the Queen's seal of approval, could soon be made in Germany. Andrew Giddings spoke to Winchester MP Steve Bryant about the controversial plans.
Benedict's of Mayfair has been making chocolates in Winchester for around 44 years. The company was moved here in 1967, about 5 years after it was first awarded the Royal Warrant, enabling it to display the famous "By appointment to Her Majesty the Queen" crest above the door. But now parent company Stork has announced plans to move production from here to Germany, a move that could cost up to 140 jobs in Winchester.
I was really disappointed to hear a move away from Winchester as even being considered by Stork, who are the owners of Benedict's German company. I know the news came as a huge shock to employees last week. They've got this really loyal workforce, many of whom have worked there for years and their parents before them. And if they stop making the chocolates in Winchester, then people are going to lose their jobs.
Stork UK are remaining tight-lipped about plans at this stage, but have issued the following statement.
Stork UK has recently announced the start of a consultation period to determine the future of its production facility in Winchester, Hampshire. The sales and marketing department of Stork UK, also based in Winchester, will not be affected. Until the consultation is completed, there will be no further announcements.
Andrew Giddings for Winchester News Online.
And Steve Bryant will be appealing for David Cameron's support on this issue. Helping around the world, Hampshire firefighters come back home from the devastation that hit New Zealand after an earthquake destroyed the lives of many. Shira Pinchuk visited Hampshire Fire and Rescue Service to speak to the firefighters.
A team of Hampshire firefighters have returned back home after travelling to New Zealand following the last month's earthquake.
It was very different to what you normally expect to see. There was a lot of collapsed buildings, some partly collapsed, some completely collapsed. A lot of high-rise buildings were affected.
The 9 firefighters helped in the search and rescue of people trapped inside buildings in the central business district, Littleton and Summit.
We were given 2 tasks initially. One was to search a whole block of buildings, and we managed that, and at the same time the other part of the team had started work on this building, the PGC building, and then we did it in rotational shifts, 24 hours a day.
The Hampshire team assisted during Haiti earthquake and other disasters around the world.
Our priority is always to save life and try and rescue people. On this occasion, all the live rescues were actually done before we got there, and we were doing body recoveries when we were there.
After having back in air for over 30 hours, the 9-strong team has one more mission.
Just want to get home, have a decent night's sleep in a decent bed, and then it'll be back to normal.
From Fire Headquarters, Shiro Pinchuk, Winchester News Online.
Young mums and their children marched through Winchester High Street to present Hampshire County Council leaders with over 1,000 signatures. They were there to fight the proposals to close the county Sure Start centres. Sam Homewood was at the demonstration.
Protesters hand over signatures to Hampshire County Council leader Ken Thornber, all opposed to the proposed cuts of local children's centres.
We're delivering over 12,000 signatures today.
Young and old, they marched through Winchester, up to the Hampshire County Council headquarters. The proposal will reduce the 81 Sure Start centres to 53. Parents and grandparents from across Hampshire have just handed Hampshire County Council leader Ken Thornber 12,000 signatures in support of the area's Sure Start centres.
Can announce that we are going to give another month for consultation.
It's a success because it's raising the profile, raising the awareness of the campaign, but I also feel a bit cautious as to what Hampshire County Council have offered.
This crowd plans to return next week with 32,000 signatures, which Ken Thornber confirmed would force a council inquiry.
We have adopted a process in the County Council that would trigger a full County Council debate.
These campaigners will spend the next week trying to collect the 32,000 signatures they need to stop their centres from floating away. Sam Homewood, Winchester News Online.
Vice-Chancellor of Winchester University has called on the Home Secretary to drop plans to restrict visas for foreign students. Winchester's Joy Carter was part of an open letter the government signed by the heads of 16 universities. They say that plans will have a negative effect on the finances of universities and could cause some courses to close. The University of Winchester's teaching students have been helping the Soma Primary School in Africa by teaching the pupils and helping to improve the school's facilities and infrastructure. The trip was part of the Hampshire-wide Diamond Jubilee Gambia project. David Champion has this.
6 teaching students from the University of Winchester have recently returned from a 10-day trip to Africa, where they've been teaching primary school children.
So it was a really amazing experience. So Soma, the village, is poorer than on the coast with the hotels. Coast with the hotels is very touristy, but when you drive out further into Gambia, the area is poorer, and I think that does kind of get to your heart a little bit, because the kids come up, ask you for the water bottle. I think that does affect you. The motto of Gambia is the smiling coast of Africa. And definitely so really welcoming, and it's surreal to think how welcoming they were to complete strangers. So I recommend that everybody has the experience if they can. If they get offered a trip to Africa, take it. Africa as a whole, as a life experience for travelling and whatever, yeah.
The trip was part of the Diamond Jubilee Gambia project, to which the University of Winchester has given £20,000. All Hampshire schools have now been invited to contribute in the hope of improving education in Africa. David Champion, Winchester News Online.
And now for your sports. Kieran, what do you have for us?
Thanks, Katie. Last night saw Winchester City host AFC Totton in the semi-final of the Hampshire Senior Cup. With Totton a league above the Citizens, it was always going to be a hard task for Guy Butter's side. Jake Gable was at the Den Plan.
Winchester City and AFC Totton faced off in the Hampshire Senior Cup last night, with a place in the final up for grabs. The visitors started strongly against their lower league opposition and took the lead just 14 minutes in.
Pass back, it's Michael Charles. 1-0 to AFC Totton. They lead here at the Den Plan.
The hosts fought back, going close with this goalmouth effort on the half-hour mark. Yet just minutes later, AFC Totton had doubled their advantage thanks to a quick breakaway from Tom Price.
He's still going here, left foot drive, bottom corner, 2-0 to Totton.
After the break, City again found themselves under the thumb and fell further behind.
Charles, it's 3-0 to the away side. Great finish by Michael Charles, the former Woking man.
Totton, who are current holders of the Hampshire Senior Cup, looked to have one foot in this year's final, but a late header from Citizens defender Mike Byrne offered a glimpse of hope for the home side late on.
That's Byrne for Winchester.
For Winchester, it was a case of too little, too late, but City boss Guy Butters was full of praise for the opposition.
You know, we've got into the game really without you could probably say 5 regular players, you know, and against a team like Tottenham who are leading the division above, you know, you can't afford to do that, but, you know, they're a fantastic team. I can see why they're top of the division, and I can see why they won the cup last year. I think they're going to win it this year as well, because like I say, they're a fantastic team. The finish is, you know, sublime all over the pitch. But saying that, we give them a, you know, last 20-25 minutes we started to come into the game a little bit. You know, they got a little bit tired. We scored a goal, and the only little thing that disappoints me is I think if we started off the way we finished, I think it'd have been a totally different game. But you know, they are where they are because they've got that extra little bit of class.
Now for a moment of barefaced cheek from the Blue Square South. Monday's match between Havant and Waterlooville and Dorchester Town was interrupted by a streaker wearing only a bright green mankini and comedy wig. The culprit managed to escape the attention of stewards before being tackled to the ground by Dorchester's player-manager Ashley Vickers. Vickers' decision to take the incident into his own hands led to him being controversially sent off for violent conduct, despite protests from his teammates. Havant and Waterlooville went on to win the game 3-1, but will now face an FA charge of spectator misconduct. And Monday night's results keeps Havant and Waterlooville in touching distance of the playoffs. Steve Devlin's goal for the away side gave Dorchester an early lead, but goals from Mustafa Tiriaki, Wes Fogden and Steve Ramsey gave the Hawks all 3 points. Eastleigh consolidated their playoff place with a 1-0 win at home to Bromley last night, Mark Nwakaji with the winner. And Basingstoke ended their 7-match winless streak with a 3-0 win away to Thurrock. Strikers Greg Draper and Delano Sam York were amongst the scorers. Well, that's all from me this week. Back to you, Katie.
A Spitfire has roared through its home skies on the 75th anniversary of the iconic maiden flight. Carolyn Grace, the world's only female Spitfire pilot, gave the public a view of her plane over Southampton waterfront, the place of a potential new Spitfire memorial. That's all this week. For more award-winning news and sport, don't forget to log on to our website at www.winol.co.uk. But make sure you click on our features page to catch a behind-the-scenes glimpse of the Theatre Royal's High School Musical cast in What's On with Rebecca Gray. From all of us here, goodbye.
Hello and welcome to What's On. I'm Rebecca Gray, reporting from the university's Performance Studios. High School Musical, the well-known and well-loved film, is coming to the stage at the Theatre Royal this week. I went to the final rehearsals and caught up with their Troy, Gabriella and director Bill Richards.
Director of High School Musical. Very exciting. We've been rehearsing for about two and a half months now. We auditioned in December. We did it relax over Christmas. We all gained the weight, and we've been slowly losing it over the sort of the intensive rehearsals. We've had 3 rehearsals a week, long Sunday rehearsals. Very good. It's, you know, a bit like the film, a bit different though. So there's some surprises in there. 3 new songs. There's a performance on the 9th, 10th, 11th. There's a 2:30 p.m. as it says on the poster. Matinee on the Wednesday as well, so all the kids can come along if they want to, even though it's not half term, so they'll be back in school. That'll be bad, but you know, enjoyment. Don't stick to the stuff you know. No, you gotta be true to the thing that you do. No, don't be afraid to show. You won't stick to the status quo.
Hi, I'm Sam Quested, and I play Troy Bolton. This is actually my 3rd Poor show, and it's got chosen, and I just heard from everyone to come on audition, and somehow got the role of Troy Bolton.
I'm Amy and I play Gabriella. I kind of went along as a joke to the auditions with my friends and then got the part. Yeah, it's so much fun, like the whole cast, they're just awesome. But I'm kind of nervous for the performance because it's my first show ever, so yeah, but it's been really good fun.
Also this Thursday at the Railway, My Ruin, a female-fronted American hardcore band known for their intense live performances, will be ripping up the stage for your enjoyment. At the Everyman Cinema this week, the King's Speech is still pulling in the punters. Don't miss your chance to see Winchester's own Colin Firth in his Oscar-winning portrayal of the King overcoming his speech impediment. Fellow Oscar winners at the Everyman include Black Swan, and although it missed out on the awards, True Grit is not to be missed. That's all from me this week. I'm off to get my tickets to the King's Speech and see Mr. Firth in action myself. See you next week.